Hi everybody, good morning. So some stuff has happened that has made the state of affairs, such as pertaining to what we refer to as reality, even more clear to me. It's about what we refer to as the system, which really in its entirety is a structure. It's like the Matrix in so many ways. It's physical, emotional, spiritual, mental. It pertains to every facet of our life, such as it is. It controls, choreographs much, if not certainly influences every part of our existence in a toxic, negative, poisonous way. It really, really does. From advertising to wars to schools to fashion, the clothes we wear, the food we eat, the diseases we suffer from, the so-called health care or disease care or death care that is there because of that, the way we feel, the way we think, the way we act towards ourselves, towards each other, towards nature, towards animals. The system, the structure, the matrix, just a minute, right? Okay, sorry, is everywhere. But people, for the most part, and I'm not talking about people that aren't awake at all here, but I am talking about those of us who are awake to external evil, but have as yet not connected it to an internal state of being as well. The truth is that we have lived in this place that used to once upon a time be the most beautiful place, and we were the most beautiful beings. We were loving, telepathic, we were in the flow. But this sickness has invaded that beautiful place and has installed itself. It's bureaucracy, it's the rule of law, it's the courts, it's the police, it's the armies, it's all the different jobs that exist just to serve the system. The system needs to perpetually, it seems, it needs to perpetually justify its own existence. Biker, go down son. Sorry, lovely. It needs to perpetually justify its own existence, right? By telling us that we are bad and that we are inherently bad and sinful and so forth and so on. It gaslights the absolute fuck out of us all. It pulls the wool over our eyes. It's all trauma-based mind control. Television is another big part of it. I talk about this in my last video, where people used to go to cinemas. There was still some communion. And there isn't now. Piker. Come on. Yeah, well, I know, but just a minute. Television is full of subliminals. YouTube is full of subliminals. It's all also very much about behavioral influence, getting us to think a certain way, feel a certain way, behave a certain way. it influences in a most sickening manner, in a sickening way, every facet of our life. And when you're born into it, you, for the most part of your life, you don't know any different. So you think that's just the way it is. You don't realize, because you don't. It's all you've ever known. It's all you've ever known. Until you begin to awaken more and more, you start to remember a time before that was very different. But of course, the cognitive dissonance, the mind control, is always there telling you that that's just your imagination and that never happens. One of the biggest issues here, the biggest issue possibly, is that we cannot form healthy, supportive, joyful relationships with other people. I have witnessed my whole life, in every imaginable way, I have witnessed how badly people treat one another. How full of abject self-hate people really are, that they totally avoid, that they go into dissociation and avoidance. People are capable of treating each other with respect, with love. They are. I do. I get it wrong. I do get it wrong. I do. But when I do, I will own it. And I will sit down with this person when and if they are willing, and we work things out. I do this with my best friend. I do this with another friend as well. We talk about stuff and we resolve stuff. But often enough, that is not possible, because when you're dealing with, say, a narcissist, a covert narcissist, an overt narcissist, you just have to call it a day. Block and delete, end of. You cannot carry on associating with individuals like that. And this is a major issue. The system is a narcissist. Religion, another part of the system. Do you have any idea how many religions there are in this world? And how many splinter religions there are? Derivative religions there are? How many cults there are? The division it has caused, how it's fucked people up to a massive degree, what it's done to people's psyche, how those people then go out and treat other people, their children, their brothers, their sisters, their fathers, their mothers, their community, how everything is like a domino effect, or like a virus. Whether you believe in the existence of viruses or not, it's a microorganism that infects the body and makes it sick. There you go. Or it's not anything bacteriological. Yeah? Yeah? So, oh man, it's the weather is just like, what the heck? It's September, but it's freezing. It's very cold. There's my little boy, see? Piker. So, the consciousness is infected. The system is the infection. Oh, my God. The system is the infection. I love you, son, but come on. Yeah, I know you want to look in the window, but look here. I'll show you. All right, come on. He likes to sit in the window. It's fair enough. It has made us all very sick. We're all really fucking traumatized, right? We're all heavily mind controlled. Awakening means that you hopefully ultimately guided to go within and start really going within, and healing that. It's a really tough job because 90% of the time you feel it's pointless and it's hopeless and evil always wins and there's nothing you can do. And for those of us who are really doing the work, oh man, it's really hard because you uncover all the trauma. And the more you strip back the layers of the trauma and the mind control, the more you see the truth, because the mind control is there so that you don't see the truth. The mind control is there so that you exist in this foggy, spellbound state. It's witchcraft, guys. That's what it is. It's fucking witchcraft. It's evil, dark magic. The system is narcissistic. The gods and the goddesses of all the different religions and all the different fucking psyops and you know, the fashion models and the politicians and this that, and the other, the celebrity, everything, it's narcissistic now. And because the true evil is showing itself, evil is revealing itself, so it's more obvious than ever before that what the truth is. And we are all so fucked up. And how could we possibly ever heal this by just feeling okay again? No, we have to go through the layers of it and acknowledge it and stop avoiding and dissociating and seeing it and feeling it. And that's really, really hard and really, really painful, because the more you awaken, the more you go within, the more you see the truth of what this world is. You see how ugly it has become. I live in England. This country back in the 20s and the 30s was green and beautiful. England's green and pleasant lands. And now there's hardly any wilderness left. It's either farm. What people class as the countryside in England is farmland. It's cultivated land. It's not wilderness. It isn't. It's all land that is owned with great big fucking fences and barbed wire and signs saying keep out, private, that sort of horrible, hostile, nasty, narcissistic, evil shit. Animals have nowhere to go. Nobody gives a damn. There is ugly, cheap, breeze block box houses everywhere that are hideous and ugly, and that is trauma. That causes trauma to witness the ugliness of what once was a green and pleasant and beautiful place, right? The fucking motorways everywhere, the stench of the cars, the petrol, right? The lies. Oh, the petrol that they use now is not toxic anymore because there's no lead in it. Yeah. But there's all kinds of crap in it that probably is worse than lead. It's like, oh, I stopped smoking, I'm vaping. Do you know what I mean? Vaping is even worse for you than smoking. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind. It's all a fucking lie, right? And the truth of it, of what the fallout in terms of personal psychology is, just wow. So this is why we have a massive problem across the plane with narcissism. Now, overt narcissists, I don't really care about, because it's obvious that you're dealing with a narcissist. That's it. You're a narcissist. It's obvious. They have it written all over them. But it's your covert narcissist that is a major issue. Most of us, when we get involved with people, because we've been so badly abused mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, energetically, that we are not really very clear on what constitutes a healthy connection with another human being. What does it feel like? What should it feel like? How should it present? How should it develop? are my responsibilities? What are the other person's responsibilities? You know, it's a really big issue. Our connection with other people, may that be friendships or family members or, you know, lovers or husbands or wives or children or whatever. I mean, community, whatever. I mean, I don't really do community anymore because it's just toxic as fuck, and it's like, whoa. Because it's all directed by the black hand, and it's toxic as fuck. This is another element of it, you know. Communism, you know, the community, the collective, but individuals are treated like garbage and told they're worthless. So the collective, what is the collective but a collection of individuals, right? So you get that, it's all collectivism is evil. It's all evil and it's all sickening. But narcissism for insult people is abject self-hate that cannot be faced or healed. I think I'm not saying narcissism cannot be healed, because I don't know, because I'm not a psychiatrist or whatever. I don't know. I know that from my own personal experience, my mother would have not. It was that they're very strange, very bizarre people. Covert narcissists are very strange people. And you get involved with people because we are human beings, humans or whatever. We are beings of light and beings of love, and we seek connection because back in the time before this evil infected our world, we were all connected, everything flowed, and there was love. There was no fear, distrust, mistrust, abuse. It wasn't like that at all. We flowed and we had telepathic ability, so we could feel each other. We can feel each other now as well, you know, but because so many people are so, well, distorted, due to, yes, mostly woundedness, but some of it is just plain evil and demonic. So what we feel is not a good thing. We don't feel goodness a lot of the time, and we get involved with people, especially when it's through an online medium rather than face-to-face in the physical. You don't necessarily know what you're dealing with. So every time you get involved with somebody online, you take a massive chance. And you need to be aware of, where is this going? How is this making me feel? Because a truly good connection should feel warm. That person should share of themselves. You share of yourself, they share of themselves. You don't have to pour it all out straight away, but there has to be an effort to slowly but surely establish a bond, a real living connection, where you share of yourself, of your experiences and your feelings, your emotions. Yeah? This is important because this is living and this is warm and this is real and this is genuine. But with a narcissist, you will find, a covert narcissist, they don't do that. They will talk about, oh, I had weird experiences, but they won't tell you what those experiences were or are. They very rarely, if ever, talk about how they feel. They may talk about, oh, I feel like this or I feel like that, but it's very clipped and it's very short and it doesn't feel real. They have a metallic energy. It isn't warm because it's like witchcraft. I kid you not. It's like you're being influenced by witchcraft, by dark, malevolent energy. Because the whole thing is a facade. They set up this facade. They tell you, they love bomb you, they tell you how much they've benefited from what you did for them, or how much they admire what you've done over there, or what you've achieved over there. They tell you all that. But then they will say something, or do something or send you something in your email or via a letter or whatever that constitutes covert abuse. They will tell you in a gaslighting manner that they don't like you at all, that they mistrust you, that they in fact dislike you, but they do it in such a way that you're not sure. You know something has just happened that is not right. It's made you feel really, really bad, but because you yourself are very wounded and traumatized, because we all fucking are, and because you have had way more toxic relationships than healthy, loving relationships, you're not really sure. You're confused. You're used to being confused. You're used to living in the fugue, the trauma-based mind control. You're used to narcissistic abuse, right? You're used to trauma bonding. Yeah. So it's very difficult. You don't clock on straight away that you're being covertly abused. And the name of the game is covert. I think covert narcissism is far more prevalent now than it's ever been, because the system knows we're waking up more and more and more. So overt abuse and overt narcissism is recognizable by those of us who are awake. We get that quickly. And right, that's it. You're gone from my life. So evil's become more and more clever in its insinuations, right? And so it's far more covert now, but at the same time the covert is becoming overt, if you get my drift. I mean, you look at the government, so-called, of this fucking country, or you look at the government of, say, what's happening in America, pretending to be there for the people and whatnot, but it's nothing of the kind. It absolutely is not. So it's covert, but then it becomes overt, and it's the same in this country. It's all just manipulations, but it's beyond that. It's beyond the physical. It is like witchcraft. It's spell casting. It's dark magic, and that's why it all feels really fuguey and really difficult, and it's extremely painful, and it really just causes so much pain when you thought you had a real living warm connection with somebody, even though in the back of your mind there was little warning signs, little bells going off here and there saying something isn't quite right here. I can't put my finger on it, but something isn't quite right. But you so much want to connect, because we are meant to, because we're not meant to be alone. We're not meant to be isolated. We're not, yeah? Have you not noticed how in every cult they always, one of the main ingredients is isolation. Separate you from your loved ones if you have them, right? Always get you on your own with your back against the wall. So that's very much a part of what this here is. This very much why we're surrounded by these narcissistic people, and it is a spectrum. It's not black and white, it's a spectrum. I go as far as to say we've all got a bit of it in us. None of us are fucking perfect. I know I'm not. I have to scrutinize my own behavior. And even when I do, I probably still get it wrong, often enough. So that's an ongoing journey as well. It's incredibly painful, though, to get involved with somebody thinking that you have a good connection, and then eventually something happens that is a massive red flag that hits you square in the face, telling you that, okay, this is not a good person. This is not right at all. You're sent something that leaves you in absolutely no doubt that you're dealing with a person that is not able to really be a friend at all, and this person has the capacity to really hurt you, and has, so you need to let them go. Wow. Because you end up blaming yourself. You think, well, it's my own fault, yeah. It must be me, I just attract narcissists. That must be me. But actually, when you stop and think about it this way. That narcissist that has just really stuck a knife in you and really hurt you, that narcissist, that covert narcissist that said things to you, love bombing, like, oh, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful to you for having done this for me. Or, I think you're such an amazing person for having achieved that. That sort of thing. But then does something that proves to you very clearly that actually they think you're a piece of shit. And they don't trust you, and they think you're not trustworthy, and you're just worthless and whatnot, you know. And here's the thing. Narcissism, like the system, it's a parasite, right? And narcissism, the system, the dark side, evil, whatever, however it is, hates itself. It's self-hate. Thick, black, unforgiving, relentless self-hatred. It hates beings of light. It is attracted to the light because it wants to be like the light. It wants to be filled with love. It wants to be able to go within and heal. It wants to be able to change and heal and love and be whole again and be well. It wants all that. It sees us, the shining ones, and it's attracted to us like moths to a flame, but at the same time the envy is, wow, massive. So it is very much attract, repel. It's a very strange situation. It's very strange, but it is what it is. It wants to be like us, and it sort of seems to think that by inserting itself into our life, getting involvement going, that somehow our light will rub off on it. But it never does, not really. It's relentless self-hatred. It's a wound. It's woundedness, extreme woundedness. And we all suffer from it. All of us are broken. All of us are wounded. All of us get it wrong in relationships, but not all of us are covert or overt narcissists. They cannot own their shit in any way. They blame everybody else. It's always out there, and it's always somebody else's fault. They will never ever speak in terms of I got it wrong, or I feel this and I feel that. They never talk about their mistakes. They can't own any of it. They can't own any of it. And no matter how diabolical, like my mother, man, my mother was at the very top of the list, at the very full-on spectrum of narcissism. And no matter how diabolical her behavior, she couldn't own it. She could not own it at all. You're here annihilating your child, but no. What I'm doing is right. This is what the system, the beast system, has done here. And it's very, very difficult. It's difficult because it makes you doubt yourself. It's difficult because it makes you blame yourself. I don't know how many of you have noticed, but when you disentangle from a covert narcissist, you go through an inevitable period of feeling really confused and chaotic and like witchcraft, dark magic, where you feel like it's saying, oh, they weren't really a narcissist, you're the narcissist, and they were good people, and you know, you're mistaken, you got it all wrong, and there's all this cognitive dissonance and all this weird fugue shit going on. It's very gaslighty and horrible, and it takes at the very least a few days, maybe a few weeks to work through that. And you've got to make a list and write down things that have happened, and it will help you to remember and to remind yourself that no, that's not what happened. I've written it all down. This is what happened. And to keep evidence of it if you can, like real evidence, so that you can say, right, well, there is the evidence. I am looking right at it to prove that this person was a covert narcissist and that covertly abused me, covertly gave me the message that, yeah, this is how I really feel about you. Yeah, I say that I admire you, or I say that I really care about you, I say that I'm really grateful for you, but that is not the truth. The truth is that this is how I feel about you. And it's horrible. Try and write it down and try and keep hold of actual evidence to prove to yourself the truth and the veracity of the fact that no, it's not you, it's them. And it isn't really them either. That's the kicker. It isn't. Whatever motivated my mother to do what she did to me wasn't really my mother. I caught glimpses of my mother when she came out from under the control of the evil, the system, the black hand, the dark generator, call it whatever you like, and realised, whoa, what the fuck am I doing? What am I doing? Why am I sending my 11-year-old daughter to cycle 1 hour and a half to school when she is in abject agony with her first period, right? Because my periods, you know, women periods, for those of you who are men and who feel a bit ooh about that, that's trauma. You shouldn't be feeling that way. It is a natural thing. Well, it isn't really, but it is. It isn't, but it isn't. It's fucking shit. It's all about procreation, which is not natural either, but there you go. It's what the fuck, right? But some women have extremely painful periods. Mine used to be so painful that I'd be puking with pain. I would be vomiting up a shitload of food because I was in so much pain, and my mother was so cruel that she would say, well, I don't give a shit, you get on your bike and you cycle to school. And in fact, one day this happens, I got so sick and I passed out. An ambulance had to come and, right, long story, it was bad. I don't believe narcissism is I think it's a form of demonic possession. That is what I feel. I think that the influence of the system is such that for some reason that I do not as yet know, or understand or overstand or whatever, it has a great deal of influence into certain people. I don't know why exactly. I do not know why exactly. But I have seen this many, many times. I'm not talking about those beings that are not sold, like the black-eyed people. A friend of mine, her ex-husband, well, her daughter came home after visiting with her father. They're divorced, long time, in a really bad way, saying, I saw my father's eyes go all black. And then the poor girl was really, really traumatized. It was horrible. Her husband is a narcissist. He's horrible. He's not a nice person. I don't think he's sold. That is demonic beyond any doubt. There is such a thing. It's called by the Vatican exorcists, such as they are, as perfect possession. I think this happens to non-assault people. People can be, of course, demons can download themselves into people. It's you know, it's a sort of thing that happened at Skinwalker Ranch as well. It's that sort of the skinwalkers, you know. Some people may in fact die, and another soul or another dark soul or an entity may possess that body. So you get that sort of thing. It's like a walk-in type situation. That happens as well. But when it comes to overt narcissists, but especially the covert ones, because I think they are the real problem, I think we're dealing with a type of, maybe not perfect possession as such, but certainly a great, massive influence. I know for myself, way back, where I have behaved in ways that has not been good. But seeing that and owning that and forgiving myself for that and changing that behavior has been extremely difficult. There has been massive resistance of a force that was not me, really. Yet, like a sock puppet, had its tentacles into me. And it was resisting. It didn't want me to heal that. It didn't want me to change. It didn't want me to heal. It didn't, and I think this type of resistance to healing and to owning our shit is very prevalent in this world. I think it is. Evil can only exist when we allow it to exist. This is how bad it's gotten. This is what the world is now. We are surrounded by motorways and cars and buildings everywhere. You still have quite a lot of wilderness in America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, places like that. But in New Zealand there is some really horrible shit going on. They're spraying everything with a particular type of chemical. This is a weird shit, I don't know. But I do honestly feel that evil is losing, and it doesn't seem that way, I know. Because when you wake up, when you are awakening, instead of things getting better, things seem to get worse, because you are seeing the truth. So things haven't really changed, actually. They've just been revealed to you for what they really are. So that which was covert has now become overt, and that is the nature of evil. That we are now seeing it for what it really is. It's no longer covert, it's become overt. And that pertains to ourselves, our own behavior, how it affects the world around us, how we can be selfish, self-absorbed, careless, often enough because we are under such duress, we're under the cosh, that, like I said in my last video, we have compassion fatigue. It's like, yeah, I can see my partner is really going through it, and I can't do a fucking thing about it. And on top of what I'm already going through here, that I can't do anything about, and I have to surrender and trust in the Creator to somehow have my back and look after me and make things work out okay. You can't compute. You can't. But it's always been that way. It's just that we dissociated from it, you know. Avoidance. But it was always there. And from what I've seen, most people have friends that aren't really friends at all. Most families are dysfunctional and treat each other pretty badly. There is some goodness here. It's not all bad. No, it isn't. It wants you to think it is, but it isn't. But mostly things are really fucked up, and that's par for the course, unfortunately. But we are waking up. We are seeing it. We are feeling it. We are getting it. And I maintain with all my heart that forgiveness is the only way. Do not stay entangled with covert narcissists or overt narcissists or people that treat you badly. Be in awareness that any kind of relationship or any kind of connection should feel warm. It should feel safe. It should feel warm. It should be supportive, you know, and joyful. It's feel good. I enjoy this. This makes me feel good. It's enjoyable. I receive goodness from this person, and I reciprocate that goodness. And this person shares of their story, of their experience and their emotion. And I share of my experience and my emotion, and we reciprocate and we help each other and support each other, and that's a mutual healing covenant. That is a good thing, and it feels right and it feels good. But when you're used to being abused, and most of us are, all of us are one way or another really, but some more than others, and when you're used to trauma bonding and you've had a narcissistically abusive childhood, you're less likely to really understand what it feels like to have a healthy, good connection with another person. That's not going to be very easy at all, because you're not used to it, and you won't clock on straight away, and it will take you a little while, and then you'll end up blaming yourself. Don't blame yourself. It's not your fault. And you can and will surely utilize your experiences, right? Because that is grace and that is love, and it will show you the truth through these really, really painful, difficult experiences that you can have with people that really hurt you. Yes, they do. It wants you to be isolated. It wants you to think you're all alone. It wants you to give up trying to connect meaningfully. It wants that to be the norm across the plane, across the board, right? Of course it does. Obviously. Think of any cult you care to think of. What's the first thing they do? They isolate people. That's what they do. When you're connected to somebody that makes you feel bad, when you finally work out that it's not what it pretends to be, and that it doesn't feel good, that it feels metallic, disingenuous, and that it hurts you, that things are said, things are intimated, or they send you things that are so obviously nasty, but in a really gaslighty sort of way. And you feel like you've been hurt, and then you feel like you can't really say anything, or you feel like you've got to make excuses for them, right? Which they then, like, you know, oh, they did this because of that, and it isn't really their fault because they're wounded. Yeah. They will, yeah, thank you for, you know, because you've just let them off the hook, but you shouldn't have. Because you, not being a narcissist and being a genuine soul traveler, you would not behave that way. You are not sick and twisted and distorted. You're not. You may hurt people, you may be a bit selfish, you may be this, you may be that. Yeah. You own that shit. You feel bad about it. You realise you've gotten it wrong. You can own it and you can make amends, right? But you don't play games with people. You don't fuck with people. You don't psycho rape people, right? It's all a facade. It isn't real, because what it's hiding is a festering pit of self-hate. You see, that's what it really is. They claim to be really going through it, but then they're there at a fucking party, dressed in a bloody, you know, whatever outfit, and having a great time. So it's like, okay, what the fuck? Right? It's all a lie. Oh, there's my cat, Piker. Okay. Come on then, son. You coming in? Come on. There you are. I mean, you know, it's. I remember years ago, this woman was really always talking to me about how much she loved animals, and then one day I saw her with her dog, and it was horrifying, because she was there screaming and shouting at this really beautiful dog, and this animal was terrified and cowering and like that. It hurt so much, and I knew this person is no. It's really difficult, guys. It's really, really difficult. And there is a fucking reason why there are millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of YouTube videos and YouTube channels talking about narcissism, talking about demonic possessions, talking about dark influences and shenanigans and how it affects us. And some channels are better than others. I mean, some of them just seem to want to, you know, they focus on getting vengeance and how to get your own back on the narcissist. I do not advocate any of that at all. I advocate neutral compassion to understand that it's ultimately it's extremely woundedness that they cannot handle, and that there is a dark influence there, right? Or in some cases NPCs, and we're dealing with demonics, all right? So yeah, but a lot of narcissists are sold, and we know they are sold, we do know this, but they are extremely wounded, and it's extreme self-hate that they can't face. But it's very difficult. Because at first you don't want to forgive, you know, you don't want to forgive. But if you don't forgive, you cannot utilize it. You cannot learn the lessons. You cannot do the healing until you forgive. Which is why there are so many YouTube videos wanting you to stay in this hatred and this rage and this vengefulness, and how to get yourself back on the narcissist and do these 3 things to defeat the narcissist or whatever. And it's like, okay, stay the fuck away from that. Stay away from it. Stay away from it. It will not get you anywhere. It only serves the dark side, and we don't want to do that. We do not. Once you recognize that you're dealing with a covert or overt narcissist, any kind of narcissism, or even just a relationship that isn't making you feel good, that is making you feel shitty, but you feel used, you feel abused, you feel betrayed, you feel hurt. If it happens continuously and you step back a little bit and you think, yeah, it's actually a bit of a pattern, right? When a relationship feels good and it is warm and joyful, but then something is done or said that hurts, okay, that's par for the course, unfortunately, but that can be confusing too. But you know, you're not dealing with a narcissist. But when you're dealing with something that is perpetually just off, subtle but off, and you have these little voices in your head saying something isn't right here, something isn't right here, and there you are trying, so you share of yourself, your journey, your feelings, your emotions, but you're not getting that back, right? It's metallic, it's all mind, but there's no heart in it. You see, that's the thing. When you get that, disentangle, block and delete, get rid of them, and work through it. Find healing, find the lesson in it. That a lesson, not exactly, but kind of like more awakening, more understanding of what we're dealing with here, in the micro, and in the macro, in the small picture and the bigger picture, the whole thing, the whole shebang, right? The truth. For the truth shall set us free. And focus on forgiveness, all right, as your aim here. For they know not what they do. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. Be wise as serpents and gentle as doves is my advice to myself and to those of you who have been through this or are going through this. Be wise as the serpent, gentle as the dove. Evil is violent, manipulative. Evil is dark magic. Evil is mind control. And mind control is emotional control, is energetic control, is spiritual control, right? That's what it is. Love, evil is parasitical, right? Because we were not created by evil. We are beings of light. Love wants to flow through us. Love is what has woken us up. Love is what is opening our eyes. Love is what's enabling us to see the truth. It is about liberation. But the truth is very painful, and we need to move through that. It is part of the course. But love flows through us. Love is wisdom. It tells us, forgive. And it will show us the inherent truth. It may seem like all this is set in stone. The ugliness that we are surrounded by if you live in great big cities, you know, in the projects on council estates in Britain, or even if you live in the countryside, but you see the fallout of all the fucking traffic and the NPCs that drive like maniacs, mowing down innocent animals and whatnot, you know. It likes to traumatize us, you know. I know it does that, it's evil. But I truly believe it all my heart, because I've been walking this path for many years, and all the way from when I first woke up, which was mystical revelation, all the way to this moment in time, it's very tough, it's very hard, it's beyond any words, and it's not funny at all. It's dreadful, it's very tough. I got some emails from a person who seems to think it's funny and just giggles and giggles, and it's you need to go within, my love, and do your inner work, and you will finally understand what this is about. And it's not funny. It's not funny at all. People that watch my older videos I did 3, 4, 5 years ago, yeah, I was a very different person, and I didn't know then what I know today. This video, this channel is a testament to my inner work. And if you really see and hear me, then you will see and hear that I've changed a great deal over the years. It's, you know, and that is what it's all about. How have you changed? Measure that. Measure it. Have you changed? Or are you still doing exactly the same? Are you still there? You know? Anyway, I think I'll call it a day there. I needed to do this video for my own reasons, for my own clarification, and to let it be known that I have compassion, and I am choosing forgiveness, but certain connections had to be severed because it isn't right. It isn't right. I am not here to be manipulated, lied to. I am a being of light. And all beings of light deserve love and appreciation, which we richly, lovingly reciprocate. And I firmly believe that we will eventually come back home to that infinite unconditional love and harmoniousness and goodness and well-being, freedom and safety and beauty, for we richly deserve this. All souled beings do. Even the covert narcissists that are sold, that dense pit of self-hate deserves to be healed, for that ultimately is the true nature of evil. That is really what it is. And I believe and continue to trust and have faith in the power of love and in the healing power of love, which is why I choose love, I choose compassion, I choose forgiveness, and I choose boundaries. All my love to all of you.